Okay, guys, welcome to this video. Sorry if that was loud, but welcome to the video. If anyone, so first of all, congratulations. In fact, you find the congratulations photo and show you right now. Congratulations. Oh, sorry, I went to go and browse the song. Congratulations, you guys have actually taken a step forward to make your lives better. And when I mean better, you've done a lot of things right now. That is first taking action on this program, and you're not going to regret it. You're not going to regret it. So, when one big promise I made when I was creating this program is that I want to teach you how to create websites without code. Yes, that's true. But that doesn't mean that you will not understand how website works. It's very, very important because you might be met with future challenges, and knowing how websites work will be a huge advantage for you in fixing those challenges. So one of the first things I want you guys to know is what domains are. So what are domains? Or some people call it domain name, but I can call it domain name, whatever I hear, that's still correct. Now, for example, a domain name is actually a name you use to access a website. What do I mean? You want to go to Google. What do you write? Google.com. You press enter, and then it brings up what? Google. Google.com right here is the domain name. Are you with me? Let me bring up a notepad. We are going to be listing several domain names. Yes, so we just talked about google.com, right? Yes, another domain name that is very, very popular is what? youtube.com. Sorry, that's actually code I was writing before. We also have youtube.com. Now, a domain name consists of two things. It consists of a name plus I've forgotten what they normally call the last part. Let me Google it. Domain name. Let me just write domain name and then view it. Let's check out images. Yes, so it actually has, okay, this is actually what we call, let me open this in a new tab. Sorry. So let's open this in a new tab. So as you can see here, www.domainname.com. Now, as you can see, they say www dot is what we call a subdomain. But in currently, the way that websites are accessed, you don't always have to type that www dot something. You can always write facebook.com and all those ones. It automatically adds the www dot for you. Then we also have the domain name, which is the name in the middle. For example, google.com domain name is what? Google. And then as you can see, they say top level domain, that's the dot remaining part of it. Now that top level domain can be com, that's .com, can be .ng. Let's say we have gg.ng. This is a very, very popular website in Nigeria, gg.ng. So as you can see, the domain name is what? Gg, and then the top level domain is what? .ng. Now I'll soon show you why we're doing it. Now if I'll soon show you why we're doing this. But if I also type www.gg.ng, it's still going to actually load gg for me. So www can be there, and you can also decide to remove it. It will automatically add the www. Are you with me? So that's one thing. We also have what we call this subdomain. By default, all subdomain carries www. But in a situation, we could also change the subdomain. For example, I might have a website, like for example, youtube.com has a subdomain, which is music.youtube.com. So if I come to music.youtube.com, I get a different website entirely, which is YouTube Music. So do you see the difference? I think, yeah, music.youtube.com brings a completely different thing. I might go to facebook.com, it will give me a website, and then I will go to business.facebook.com and I get another website there, and that's Facebook business. So you can actually have multiple, like you can have one domain name, and inside that domain name you have what we call subdomains. Like I showed you, we have youtube.com and we also have music.youtube.com. This one is different from this one, but both of them still carries what? youtube.com. But this one is www.youtube.com, which is a default subdomain, and this one is what? music.youtube.com. Do you understand? So those can be those can be two different websites. So that's one thing. Then the next one we also need to know is what? Hosting. Now what hosting simply means is that hosting is like having a computer in another part of the world. Now this computer will contain the files that you have for your website, because all websites always has a mixture of HTML, CSS, and maybe PHP files together. So how does it work? Now, for you to actually be able to access any website you're accessing on the internet, you're actually going into a computer that is in another part of the world, or probably in wherever you're staying. Now, that computer, for that website to be accessed, that computer has to be on 24 hours, 7 days a week. It has to be constantly on, which is not something you can do with your personal computer. So what we do is that we simply get a hosting by buying services of a computer in another part of the world, which will now be hosted 24 hours every day. So any website you access, whether Google or YouTube, they are all hosted, and sometimes they call those computers servers because they are always on, actively working 247. You understand? They are actively working when? 24 hours, 7 days a week. So these two things are two important things that you will need when registering a website. So to get your domain, one of the cheapest way to get the domain name is always going on namecheap.com. Let's say I want to get a domain with my name. I simply search here. I click on, make sure register is selected. I click simply search, maybe my name dot maybe com. And I search. So it automatically search and give me results. Sorry, this should be showing. I want it to be showing Naira instead of showing. No. Go back. Sorry. So we search for chinedu.com, and unfortunately chinedu.com is not available at the moment. But as you can see, we have chinedu.net, we have chinedu.ai, we have chinedu.is. So as you can see, this one, the top level domain is .com, net, ai, is. Do you understand? So let's say I search another thing. I want to get a domain.com, so I'll say a garbage website. I think this one.com. Good. So as you can see, a garbage website actually gave me a result. Now this $7.98 is like probably, let's say, around 2,000 naira in naira. So I actually prefer Namecheap because it's quite cheaper than other domain registering platforms. Now Namecheap actually has a good domain listing. You can buy domain names cheaply. And now the second part, which is hosting, Namecheap actually has good ones, but it's quite expensive. So for hosting, I actually use another website called Paddy Host. Now you might be saying, wow, you're using a domain name one side and using website on another side. Yeah. What's the name? The .com domains for Paddy Host is actually quite expensive, which is 5,950. Not like it's really expensive, but I get to save over 2,000 naira if I should buy from Paddy from Namecheap. But when it comes to hosting, I actually prefer what's the name of this guy? I prefer Paddy Host. So in Paddy Host, when we talk about their shared hosting plan, it's actually quite nice. So you can get a good website for just 5,000 naira per year, where you can register at least 5 sites under one, get your shared hosting, and then your web space will be over 20 gig of web space, and you have a good bandwidth. You can also get it. This is the best one, which is one of 10,000 naira per year. You get almost everything unlimited, just that your hosting type will still be shared. Okay, sorry for the late response. Someone called me. Okay, so now if you buy a hosting, maybe you buy this or buy this, they are going to give you details to something we call, sorry, let me log into my client area real quick. They're going to give you details to something called cPanel. So let me log in first. I have like 3 clients that I use Paddy Host for, and within also their their website. I also have other websites inside. So let's say this one is my personal one. Okay, let's say this guy here. So I'll click on this, let it load, let it load, let it load. So they give me this, and then they are going to give you details, something called cPanel, which you can log in from here. Okay, so let's log into the cPanel. So cPanel is where most of your, maybe you want to create, those email account, maybe custom email that you want your users to have. You do that in cPanel. Maybe you want a particular type. You can see here info@thewealthtribe.org. That is the custom mail, and many more things. So another thing I want you guys to know is technologies being used. So there are three technologies that are used in web development. One of this is HTML. HTML simply gives you the structure of your website. Then the second one is CSS, and then the last one is JavaScript. They just have a little difference. There's always something that they need to compare. It's good. This is what I want you guys to see. So HTML is like the structure of your web page. Then CSS is like what gives it that design, the skin, the length of the eyes, the type of color it gets. But JavaScript is now like your brain of the website. It's like the nervous system for those who understand that one. So what happens is that it actually controls that interactivity within you and your website. For example, if someone pinches you, you immediately react. That's the same thing with our website. When someone comes out to the website, we decide to give them a pop-up. That's React. Sorry, that's JavaScript. Immediately someone comes to our website and tries to pop up. And something pops up. That is JavaScript. Maybe you click on the button and something comes out and display. There are many uses of JavaScript. These have just bought a few. Well, it's always important to know them. We're not going to be going in depth into it, but we're going to just know that, okay, this is the main thing. So anytime you see structure of your page, like every page, if I should right click and click inspect, we should see this thing element pop up. Now all these elements here, all these things you are seeing by the right hand side here, these are all HTML here. And the CSS is what just gives it that styling, and then the JavaScript gives it that interactivity with you and the web page. So these are some basic things in web development. I just want you guys to understand this. In the next step, I'll show you how to configure it together with your what do we call it, with your website, and then make use of it together. So that's all for now. See you guys later.